In the previous section of the node operator manual, we learned how to stake QSP so we could be eligible to run a node on the QuantStamp network. In this section, we're now ready to actually run the node. So let's get started. By the way, any of the tabs and web pages that you see open in this YouTube video, the links to those web pages and tabs are going to be available in the YouTube description. So make sure you go down there and open them all up so you can easily follow along with me throughout this video. So now you've done that, let's open up our terminal. Before we set our environment variables, we need to make sure that Docker is running. On my laptop, I can tell that Docker is running because of this icon on the top right, but you can also check that it's successfully running directly from the terminal by typing docker -v. And here you can see that there is a version that's running in my terminal, and we can move on to the next step. So now that our terminal is open, what we're going to do here is we're going to set some environment variables that our node can access, and they're going to use these variables in order to create Ethereum transactions from our Ethereum account and also to effectively communicate to the Ethereum network through Infura. So let's set up our variables. First, we're going to go back to the running the node section of the node operator manual, and we're going to copy this text right here. So now that I've copied it into my terminal, I'm going to delete everything in between the apostrophe, and that's just because that's just placeholder text. And now for the QSP ETH auth token variable, what we need to put in its place is the Infura API key. So let's go to infura.io and get our API key. Here I already have infura.io open and already logged in, and there was a separate video where we went through creating this. So if you don't have an Infura account open yet, look at the previous videos and that will guide you through this process. So now here, this is the specific project that I created for my node, so I'm going to open it. And here, this is what I'm looking for. This is what I want to give to my node. This is the environment variable I want to give to the terminal right here, the project ID, aka the API token. So I copy that, I go back to terminal, and I'm going to paste that in between those apostrophes and press enter. Now right now you may say, hey, what happened, Julian? It's just blank. In order to check that you did it correctly, you can also run the command print environment, and then you just put the name of the token, or the variable, I mean. And there you can see that the text that it printed is exact same as what is between the apostrophe. It's my API key, so we did that one successfully. Let's move on to the next one. The next variable that we're going to set is for our Ethereum account password, because we need to give this password to our node, so that way it can actively make Ethereum transactions whenever it needs to. Once again, I'm deleting the placeholder text. And now I'm going to paste my password in there. Press enter, and let's do the same thing. Let's just check that I did everything correctly. Awesome. So we can see that these two things are the same. Just keep in mind that every time you close your terminal, you're going to have to reset these variables so that your node can read it. So just keep that in mind in the future. Now that we successfully set the variables, we're going to run our node. So here I am in my home directory, and I'm going to use the ls command to see all the different directories and files that I have in my home directory. And I'm going to use the cd command to enter my QuantStamp node directory, and that's the name of the folder for me. I'm using this version, but keep in mind you may have to use a newer version, so make sure to download the latest version of the QuantStamp node so everything runs smoothly. So now that I've done this, I press enter, and you can see that I moved into the correct directory because it will be, the name of it will be repeated right here. All right, so now we're ready to run the command to start the node. So now we're going to go back to the running the node section of the node operator manual, and we're going to scroll down right here and we're going to copy this text. We're going to go back to our terminal. Within our node directory, we're going to paste and press enter. And now our node will start going through the process of successfully connecting to the QuantStamp protocol network. And once we're done, we'll know that we've done this successfully because we can go to protocol.quantstamp.com, and once your node is successfully recognized by the network, it will enter this highlighted section over here. This is my node address. It's connected to the network before, but it's currently off, so it's gray. But again, once we successfully connect it to the network, we will be in this area up here. And if we go back to the terminal, another thing to keep in mind that the first time that you're connecting to the network, there will be a little delay. It will take a little time because in order to set the minimum price in QSP that you're willing to charge for a scan, we have to send a transaction to the Ethereum network, and that takes a little bit of time. So during that time, we're just going to wait, and we'll know when everything's ready. Once there we go. That was really fast this time. It's important to keep in mind that in the future, the Ethereum network may be very congested, so a transaction may take 5, 10, 15 minutes to complete. So keep that in mind, that these delays in the Ethereum network may influence how long it takes for your node to connect. So now that we've done this, I'm also going to show you how to turn off your node. So let's go back to terminal, and we're going to open a new tab. And I just like homebrew because I like the style. And here we have opened up, and as you can see, we are still in my node directory, which we need to be in. Now let's go back to qsp-protocol.node. We're going to scroll down to stop. We're copying this text, copy, paste, and then we're pressing enter. So right here, in this case, we failed to stop gracefully. Usually it works like this, but if for whatever reason this happens, we can use this option. We just put -F, enter, and this should work. And there we go. We successfully killed the script, and this is a perfectly acceptable way to stop the node. Anyway, we are finally done our tutorial. You know how to start and stop your node. Congratulations, we had to learn a lot of new tools in order to get here. I want to thank you on behalf of QuantStamp for fulfilling this challenge. See you soon.